If you are looking to start a new hobby in 2025 or want to start your own home bar, then I will share everything in this video that will help you get started and learn how to make cocktails for yourself. Coming up in this video, let's go. Hi, my name is Ayan and on this channel, I help you find the right tools for your daily life adventures, and the tools that I will help you find today will help you set up your own home bar, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So a lot of young ambitious men follow this channel, and for them, if you're looking to pick up a new hobby in 2025 or want to get into something interesting, then one thing that I could comfortably recommend from my passion is the art of making cocktails and starting a home bar. But before that, I would like to give a quick disclaimer that if you're not of a legal drinking age and watching this video, then please exit out right now, watch some of my different videos of slingbacks and everyday carry, and you can come back again once you're of a legal drinking age. But now that's out of the picture, let me come back to the art of making cocktails, or we like to call it bartending. So I picked up the skill all the way back in 2019 when I was traveling to New Zealand. That was a solo trip and I wanted to learn something new while I was traveling, and that's where I signed up for my first bartending course, first cocktail making course, and that's where I get to learn a lot about spirits, liquors, mixers, taking the art of making cocktails, the art of making your own recipes, how to tend the bars, bar etiquettes, glassware and everything in between, and I really enjoyed that course. I really take pride in the art of making cocktails and always showcasing my home bar proudly whenever a friend or family stops by, and that is why I also wanted to share it with you today. These are all the liquors that will help you get started with your home bar, and also some of my favorite liquors and spirits out there. So making cocktails is not a hard skill to learn. You can learn by just watching YouTube videos or sign up for a course like I did. In India as well, there are a lot of courses that are happening around it, but you can always learn from YouTube and recipe books from the famous bartenders around the world. But you need some specific tools, and these are all the tools that you will be needing to start your home bar. I'm gonna quickly show you. And other than that, these are all the liquors that could also help you, the spirits that will you be using to make cocktails. But these are also some of my favorite from my collection, so that's what I wanted to showcase you in this video. So let's start with the spirits and liquors that will help you make cocktails, and also at the same time you will also see my collection. So in your home bar, a good quality blended scotch is a must have, and that's why one of my favorite is Ballantyne 12. This is a great smoky flavored scotch that I really enjoy. So if you don't know, scotch comes from Scotland. There are different distilleries there that make scotches and export around the world. So this is aged for 12 years in a barrel, in a cask, and that's why you get all the smoky flavors. And I really enjoy Ballantyne. It's one of my favorite scotch, and I really have one bottle at least in my bar all the time. If you're looking for a different kind of a scotch, then another one that I could recommend is something that I also showed in my gift card, is the Monkey Shoulder, and I have it in my office all the time because that's how I love it. So this is the bottle of Monkey Shoulder that I also keep in my office. It's one of my all-time favorite blended malt scotch whiskey, and this one is made by blending a lot of different single malt whiskeys. And if you don't know about single malt, all the malts come from single distillery, while for the blended it comes from different distilleries. And Monkey Shoulder, it's made from the blending a lot of single malts, and that's why it's a really a good whiskey. It's a bit expensive. I think you could get it in India duty free for around 4,000 to 5,000 rupees, but I really love it, and I absolutely have it in my bar all the time, especially in my office. And yeah, these are the two scotch that I would recommend having, Ballantyne 12 and Monkey Shoulder. If you want to go a little low on the budget, then the everyone's favorite in India is of course a red label, black label Chivas 12. They're also really great scotch. So depending on your taste palette, once you develop that, you could pick the scotch that is best suited for you. But a good quality scotch blended is a must have when it comes to making your home bars. So these were the blended scotch. Now a single malt whiskey is also a great collection to have in your home bar. But when you talk about single malt, you usually hear about Glenfiddich, Glenlivet, things like that. I definitely love them. They are one of the premium single malt whiskeys out there. But for my collection, I have this single malt Glen Scotia, a bottle that I picked when I was in Scotland. This is the Campbelltown single malt Scotch whiskey, and this one is a bit having a spicy notes, which I really enjoy. Rich and gentle smoky, I really love it. So I also visit their distillery. I think it's also bottled by Glenfiddich Distilleries. I'm not very sure, don't quote me on that. But yeah, really good single malt whiskey. You can always go for the classics, the Glenlivet, Lefroy, Glenfiddich, but Glen Scotia is a must try in my opinion. So these were the blended and the scotch whiskies, and Indians really enjoy that with the on the rocks and with water, with soda, with coke, whatnot. But if you want to make some whiskey cocktails like Whiskey Sour, which is one of my absolute favorite cocktails, then you need to have a rye whiskey or you need to have a bourbon whiskey, and that's where this Woodford Reserve bottle comes into the picture. So this is the bottle that I recently picked from my trip to US. So Scotch whiskies are made in Scotland, but bourbon, they are made in Kentucky in US. And Woodford Reserve is one of the premium bourbon whiskey that you could find. It's not very easy to find this in India, but try duty free and you will get that. And this is used to make whiskey sours, old fashions, things like that. So all the cocktails that I'm mentioning, you could find how to make them. The recipes are on the YouTube and on the Google. If you don't want to pick this one up because it could be a bit expensive, you could always go for the classic Jim Beam, which can also make great whiskey sours. Alright, so these are the favorite whiskeys in my bar collection. But talking about it's time for winters, and everyone loves to have some brandy, and this is the Indian brandy, the Morpheus. And if you look closely, this bottle is actually in the shape of a brandy glass, and that's why I really love it. Not that expensive, really good brandy. I think it's made by Radico Khaitan, which is an Indian listed company. So yeah, do check that out, the Morpheus, the brandy. And moving forward, I would like to showcase you some of the spirits that are really useful in making cocktails. I'm talking about vodkas and gins and white rums. Starting from the vodka, so for my cocktail, I really love having Absolut vodka. This is one of my favorite to make cocktails. You can make a lot of cocktails with them. You can make Bloody Mary, Capri Oscar, Moscow Mule. You could make Cosmopolitan, Espresso Martini, which is one of my favorite cocktail of all time. So Absolut vodka is a great spirit, a great vodka if you want to make cocktails. If you want to like to drink vodka on the ice, which I also do sometimes, then Ciroc is another great vodka. Grey Goose is also a great vodka, which you can find on great deals on your duty free near you. So yeah, must have vodka in your collection for your home bar, and Absolut is a great choice. Talking about the gin, here I have two gins. So one is the Indian gin. It's a greater than gin. It's like a niche. It's like a small batch gin. Really great bottle. I picked this up when I was in Goa, but nowadays you could also find it in almost all the major metro cities. Not an expensive bottle, but really enjoy. Very smooth, greater than gin. Lot of botanicals, lot of herbs. They also have a version called Juniper Bomb, but I like this one better. It goes really well with my cocktails. You can make martinis, Negronis, gin and tonic, all of these favorite cocktails by me. But yeah, really highly recommend picking up a bottle of greater than. Other than that, you could also go for Bombay Sapphire, Tanqueray. A lot of gins are there. A lot of Indian gins are in the market, Jaisalmer. But one Japanese gin that I really love is the Roku gin. It's not a cheap gin. It's a quite expensive bottle, but I absolutely love this. I cannot just say how much I love having Roku gin in my collection. This one is actually a Sakura Bloom edition, which has botanicals when they have the cherry blossom season in Japan. So really dearest bottle in my collection. Other than that, if you want to make some more cocktails like rum-based cocktails like pina coladas, then I would highly recommend having a bottle of Bacardi. Not at all an expensive bottle, but a great white rum to make your cocktails. I really enjoy making pina coladas with this, and also for Malibu liquor. But if you want to make some tequila based cocktails, like if you want to make margaritas, which I really love, then you need to have a tequila in your collection as well. I'm almost out of this bottle, but it is a Don Alejandro tequila. A lot of tequilas, they come from agave, which is very famous in Mexico. So you will see a lot of Mexican tequilas. Blanco tequilas are there. So go for a good quality tequila and you will have great margaritas. Well, to make margarita, you also need some liqueurs with that. You need to go for a good quality triple sec, and that's why I also had a bottle of Cointreau, not over here, but yeah, you also need liqueurs when it comes to making your cocktails. For example, when you have to make espresso martini, you need coffee liqueur, and that's why I have a bottle of Kahlua over here. I used to have a bottle of Mr. Black, which is a Australian based coffee liqueur, but Kahlua is also really good, and I really enjoy making espresso martinis. And last but not the least, in your collection you should have some wines, especially the old and the new wines. When I say old wines, I mean the bottles of the wine that comes from the old wine producing nations like France, like Italy, but this one is a wine from a new wine producing nation. This one is a Chilean wine. It's called Santa Julio, and it's a really great bottle of red wine. I have usually 5 or 6 in my collection all the time, but depending on your preferences, you could go for old or the new wines, white wine, rosé, all the things. You could also have dessert wines nowadays, and if you also want to have champagne, you can also have that for celebrations, or just regular sparkling wine, which you could easily find in any good wine or liquor store. Last but not the least, some cocktails require you to have this. This is a bitter. Bitter is something that gives flavors to your cocktail, and this is the Angostura aromatic bitters. Not very cheap, quite expensive, but yeah, this hobby is overall it's quite expensive. But I really enjoy that, especially when I make whiskey sours. I use Angostura bitters. Not a must-have, but I would highly recommend if you want to make whiskey sours, then you should have that in your bar collection. These were all the liquors and the spirits that I wanted to show you. But to make cocktails, you also need some equipments, and let's call this the everyday carry home bar equipment. Starting from says. This is a regular strainer, इसको छन्नी भी बोलते हैं. This is used to strain your cocktails, and this is another strainer that you put onto the glass that whenever you are pouring the cocktails. This is a regular icebreaker क्योंकि cocktails बनाने के लिए we need lot of ice, and sometimes you need this to break the ice together. This is a classic bar spoon. Some cocktails you don't shake it, you actually stir it. सुना होगा James Bond का stir not shaken. So yeah, that's why you need a bar spoon to stir the cocktails. And over here I have a bottle opener. This is a classic bar bottle opener that you could get. Then I have this pouring thing which you can put on the bottle to pour quite easily. I have a wine key over here that you could use to open wine bottles if they are corked, if they are not capped or crowned. This is used to open wine bottles with the corks. And I have a jigger over here. This is used to measure the quantity of the spirits that we are pouring. So over here we have 1 ounce or 30 ml, and over here we have 60 ml or 2 ounces. That's the standard of pouring cocktails. Again, I have a tong over here to pick ice. And last but not the least, I have 2 glasses for shaker. This is a shaker that I really love. You also get all of these equipments in a set, in a bar set that you could also get if you are not sure which one to pick it. But usually, in my opinion, in my experience, the quality of the set is a bit on a lower side. That's why I picked all of these equipments individually. But yeah, you just need to use these 2 glasses, or you can also go for a different style shaker known as the Boston shaker. These are the glass shakers, but it's very easy. You put the glass over here, you do some shaking, and then you have this strainer. You take another strainer in some cocktails, and then you pour out the cocktails in the glass. That being said, you will also need a good glassware set. For different cocktails, you need different glasses. For example, you need whiskey glasses for whiskey based cocktails or whiskey. You need wine glasses for wine, and you need flute and coupes and all sort of martini glasses for different cocktails. My recommendation is always to start slow and build eventually. This is the collection that I have built over last 5 to 7 years on different occasions. Whenever I get an opportunity, sometimes I buy glassware, sometimes I buy different equipment. Sometimes when I go outside for traveling, I get a bottle of 2 from duty free. So that is my recommendation. Don't just go out and buy everything in one go. Start small, see what you are liking, see what sort of taste palettes you are developing. If you are liking more gin based cocktails, more vodka based cocktails, one of my recommendation is also go to a good cocktail bar near you and talk to the bartender, talk to the owner, taste some cocktails, see what cocktails you are liking. For me, generally, I really love gin based cocktails and whiskey based cocktails, sometimes vodka based cocktails, and I don't really like rum based cocktails, but I every now and then enjoy that as well. So all of these I learned by talking to different bartenders, by going to different bars. So find a good cocktail bar in your nearest city, nearest town, go there, talk to the bartender, try different cocktails, and depending on what are the ingredients on that cocktail, try to replicate that in your home bar, and that's where you could get all the equipments and all the liquors and all the spirits. So yeah, this was a part of a small home bar collection that I wanted to showcase you in this video. Let me know what you think about this video, because I usually don't do this kind of video, but I'm really looking forward to make more such videos in 2025. For example, I can make a video and teach you how to make a couple of cocktails at home using very minimal spirits and equipment. So you have to comment down and let me know what you think about this video, and if you want more such videos, then I would be happy to make it for you. I really wish all of you had a great start of the new year and have a phenomenal 2025. Let's keep in touch and build a great community of everyday carry enthusiasts, travel tech freaks, and also men's lifestyle. On that note, if you want to know what every man should have in their bedroom, then definitely check out this video. And if you're looking for great gifts to give it to someone during this new year, then these videos will help you out. Thank you for staying till the very end. I'm gonna see you in the next one.